What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 4 Millionaire Maker.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon
so you don't miss our new videos.
Okay guys, this is for the Millionaire Maker slate, which is the Sunday main slate at 1 p.m. Oh, and stick around to the very end of this video after I show you all my picks in the Draft Dashboard tools. I'll show you these players in DraftKings and in FanDuel, the Millionaire Maker slates. There'll be 2 spots open that you have to fill in, but you'll have a great Millionaire Maker core. Okay guys, NFL Week 4. Let's take a look at the quarterback position. So my Millionaire Maker quarterback is Jacoby Brissett from the Cleveland Browns, playing the Atlanta Falcons, who have the 5th worst defense overall. They give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett has averaged 15.1 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 4.3 rush attempts per game. He's only going to be about 3% owned, projected at 15.9 fantasy points here in Week 4. And I like this pick because he's only $5,500 DraftKings salary, $1,300 more on FanDuel. And Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game. 50 points scored in this game, with the Browns favored by 1.5. Now, Jacoby Brissett has scored 18, 17, and 11 fantasy points in the last 3 games. And in those games, he got 3, 6, and 4 rush attempts. So he's got some decent rushing upside. I think he can put up 20 plus fantasy points in this matchup. So I like Jacoby Brissett here versus the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. My Millionaire Maker running back is Cordell Patterson from the Atlanta Falcons, playing the Cleveland Browns, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing running backs. Cordell Patterson has averaged 18.3 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 16.3 rush attempts per game and 2.3 pass targets per game. He's going to be about 10% owned, projected at 15.7 fantasy points here in Week 4. He's $6,500 DraftKings salary, $1,100 more on FanDuel. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 50 points scored in this game, with the Atlanta Falcons trailing by 1.5. Now, Cordell Patterson, he scored 25, 4, and 26 fantasy points in the last 3 games, off of 17, 10, and 22 rush attempts, on top of 1, 1, and 5 pass targets. So this is a guy who can be involved in the passing game, super explosive player. He's kind of a boom or bust type guy. He can break 1 tackle and zoom to the end zone for 80 yards and a touchdown and make up the bulk of his fantasy points. But I do like that he's almost getting 20 touches per game, so he's got plenty of opportunity to break one of those long plays or long runs or long pass and catch, bring it to the house. I think this guy is going to continue to emerge as a top running back in the league just because of the threat of his speed and his pass catching ability. So I like Cordell Patterson here versus the Cleveland Browns.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. My Millionaire Maker wide receiver is Amari Cooper from the Cleveland Browns, playing the Atlanta Falcons, who have the 5th worst defense overall. They give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Amari Cooper has averaged 19.6 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 9 pass targets per game. He's been on the field for 82% of the snaps, gonna be about 8% owned, projected at 14.8 fantasy points here in week 4. He's $6,300 DraftKings salary. He's $1,200 more on FanDuel. Now, I think it's a good idea to stack this game. At least stack Amari Cooper with Jacoby Brissett and then run it back with Cordell Patterson. I love that setup. And Amari Cooper has scored 26, 28, and 5 fantasy points in the first 3 games of the season off of 11, 10, and 6 pass targets. So I like Amari Cooper here versus the Atlanta Falcons.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the tight end position. No, my Millionaire Maker tight end is not Darren Waller. Although I've been loving me some Darren Waller this season. He kind of let us down last game. Only scored 5 fantasy points off of 5 pass targets. The whole Las Vegas Raiders team was a disappointment, but he is in a good matchup, and I think he could be a Millionaire Maker tight end, but he's not my pick here today. I like Zach Ertz from the Arizona Cardinals, playing the Carolina Panthers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing tight ends. Zach Ertz has averaged 12.5 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 8.3 pass targets per game. He's been on the field for 80% of the snaps, gonna be about 5% owned, projected at 10.9 fantasy points here in week 4. He's $4,700 DraftKings salary, $800 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 43 points scored in this game, with the Cardinals trailing by 1.5. So Zach Ertz has scored 11, 16, and 11 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 10, 11, and 4 pass targets. So I like Zach Ertz here versus the Carolina Panthers.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck. You've unlocked the bonus content.
Okay guys, here we are in the DraftKings lineup optimizer. Over here on Draft Dashboard, we have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here, and we've generated a lineup. So let's see who we got. We got Jacoby Brissett, Ezekiel Elliott, Cordell Patterson, Cortland Sutton, Amari Cooper, DJ Chark, Zach Ertz, Najee Harris, and the Cardinals defense. So I like this lineup, guys. I think Ezekiel Elliott is a little bit too cheap. He scored 14.5 fantasy points last week. Still only 6,100 DraftKings salary. I love the stack with Jacoby Brissett and Amari Cooper. I think DJ Chark is about to pop and go off for a touchdown. And then I love Najee Harris from the Pittsburgh Steelers facing the New York Jets, who'll be getting smoked by running backs. And he's only 6,700 DraftKings salary with a ton of upside. And the Cardinals are playing the Carolina Panthers, a struggling offense. So I like this lineup. I'm going to save this lineup so I can optimize it later if anything changes. Okay, now here we are in the FanDuel lineup optimizer. Over here on Draft Dashboard, we have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here, and we've generated a lineup. So let's see who we got. We got Jacoby Brissett, Jamal Williams, Cordell Patterson, AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Zach Ertz, Tyler Lockett, and the Patriots defense. So AJ Brown, he's been on fire. And we got Jamal Williams, who's also been on fire. Both of those guys putting up big fantasy points last week in good spots here this week. And then I love Tyler Lockett. He hasn't broke out yet for over 20 fantasy points, but he has been on the field for 80 to 90% of the snaps, getting a bunch of pass targets, and we know he can put up a ton of fantasy points. So I like this lineup. I'm going to save it so I can optimize it later if anything changes.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.